And we're back. You're listening to the Talkin' Boxing with Billy C show. I want to give a shout out to our listeners on ESPN New Hampshire. Glad you guys could be with us today. Don't forget about your brain. Yeah, your brain. I know you watch what you eat and you exercise and you stay in shape and all that happy stuff, but what are you doing for your brain? Check out boxingbrainhealth.com for all the answers. Find out why this product is the only, and I say only, patented brain supplement on the market today. Check it out, www.boxingbrainhealth.com. And today's show is also being brought to us by Sal's Neighborhood Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria, the home of some of the world's best Italian food. You could check out and drool over the menu by visiting the website, www.salsneighborhoodpizzeria.com, or you can give my man a call, 912-268-2328. That's 912-268-2328. And you know that we do the post-fight shows there. And we're scheduled to do the Canelo Cotto pre- and post-fight live from Sal's facility. And speaking of Sal, joining us right now is the man himself, Sal Rocky Cenicola. What's up, Sal?
Billy C. Hey, buddy.
Good. I was wondering, stay right where you are because now it sounds good. You know, I was when we first said hello, I thought maybe somebody had you captive with a pillowcase over your head or something. But anyway, I got some stuff to talk to you about. But first and foremost, did you get a chance to watch the Terence Crawford Dierry Jean fight that was on Saturday night?
Oh, I watched it in detail. Yes, I did. It's a heck of a fight, but I'll tell you what, it was kind of one-sided. I think Crawford was so dominant and definitely had the the upper hand there. He totally outboxed this guy. And Jean fight was okay. I don't think he won one round. Maybe I gave him a draw in the 8th round, but it was only to wake up the sleeping giant, Terence Crawford, who I think was just picking apart and doing what he had to do. But I know the following round he went out there by the 10th round and stopped him.
You know, Terence Crawford is a fighter, Sal, that possesses all the skills that I look for in a fighter. He's got hand speed, he's got good footwork, he's got elusive defense. And one thing I like about this guy is that he's willing to exchange. You know, a lot of people, including myself, and I know you too, when we look at a guy like Floyd Mayweather who's got exceptional boxing skill, he doesn't risk anything by exchanging. He'll pitter-pat you, he'll go to the other side of the ring and then come back and hit you with 1 or 2 shots. Terence Crawford has a tendency to stand in the pocket at times and throw 5, 6, 7 punches at a time, which I think is entertaining. The commentators during the bout were actually saying that he wasn't that entertaining. I couldn't understand it. From an entertainment point of view, do you think that he is entertaining, and do you like watching him perform, or do you think he's on the snooze fest side?
No, I liked him, and I tried to analogize it because I definitely liked him a lot better than I would like to watch Mayweather. But I'll tell you what, no, he did stay in the pocket. And I remember when I was being trained by Richie Giacchetti, that was one of the things he trained and did so well with me too, is teaching me how to really just stay in the pocket. It made sense because here I am fighting 99% of my opponents are taller, had a better reach, but I love to cut the ring off and work myself in there. But when you stand in the pocket and the guy's there to hit you, it means he can get hit. So, that's how we did it. We just did the infighting, the boxing, and we went real well. And I liked what he did, and I saw he did stay in the pocket. You know what I liked about him, too? So he had a real good balance. His feet were underneath him at all times. His posture, when he switched to southpaw from orthodox, his balance was exceptional, and that's what I look for. I look for the fundamentals in a fighter. This guy kept his hands up. He brought the punches back, and he also in a defensive position. And he also had balance throughout the fight. His feet were underneath his body, and he had a very good step here and there. So I liked him. He was a good fighter. I would definitely look forward to watching him again. Now, I don't know. Rumor has it he may be fighting the winner of this of next week or a couple weeks or so, or maybe even who's he scheduled to fight next? Golovkin?
Well, no, different weight class. They're talking about him fighting Manny, which I'll get to that in a second. But I want to ask you a question. He did switch from orthodox to southpaw and then back and forth. When you're fighting somebody and they do that to you, and sometimes, announcing teams or even if it's part of your game plan, they think it really confuses their opponent. If you're fighting a guy that switches on you, if this is Sal Cenicola and I'm fighting orthodox and all of a sudden I switch southpaw and I switch back to orthodox, why is it confusing? I mean, explain, should fighters be able to make that adjustment on the fly quickly? Or does it bother some fighters more than others? I mean, what is the problem when you're facing an opponent that all of a sudden switches from orthodox to southpaw or vice versa in the middle of a round?
Well, good point. And I'll tell you what, I fought several opponents that did that to me. And I actually did that in one or two fights because I always felt comfortable jabbing with my right. In fact, I learned out in my later years that I was born left-handed, but my father switched me around because at that age and stage, they wanted predominantly right-handers. But anyway, to get to that point, yeah, it never bothered me. When an opponent switched from one to an side to another, I often would just take a step back and then just assess and just see what angle I'm going to come in now. And now I'm going to circle away from that straight left hand. I'm going to stay on the outside of his right foot. And it just was a matter of, boom, instantly is adapting and understanding. Now, I think where most fighters may have trouble is because they are caught completely off guard by the sudden change. And whether they have been in a fight and they're used to something, all of a sudden the guy changes, if they're not fully in tune with the fight as they should be, maybe they've gotten a little bit of a hit here and there, or just it's getting into the fight heavy, then they might get caught off guard and surprised. And yeah, it could be instant that a left hand hits you from where it was going to be a right. So, it never bothered me. And I only utilized it once or twice myself, but I don't think it's any big exception. And I had no problem with it. I fought very well against southpaws. A lot of my opponents were southpaw anyway.
Yeah, I figure if you're a professional, you should be able to make the adjustment. I guess the only thing is, like you said, if you're looking for a right hand to be coming, and then all of a sudden the left comes, it's sort of like the old Three Stooges. Woo, 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 here, watch this one. And,
exactly.
But anyway, rumor has it that Terence Crawford is on the short list to possibly face Manny Pacquiao for Manny Pacquiao's return to the ring early 2016 and ultimately his last fight. After watching Terence Crawford fight this past weekend, do you think he's got the tools to beat Manny Pacquiao? And you got to put an asterisk there because you got to assume that Manny Pacquiao will perform better than the last time we saw him, which was against Mayweather.
Well, and you can make an argument that Crawford, he's not a Mayweather, but he definitely could emulate a little bit of that style that could frustrate Pacquiao by boxing a little bit here and there. I don't think he's even in the same class as Mayweather, but as far as his ability, he does a good job, a solid job, a fundamental job, but, Mayweather does have that little added thing that makes him just exceptional on that level, that kind of fighting. We are going to have to see really what we're going to expect from Manny Pacquiao. I know he's going to go out there. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to want to prove to the world he's there. He's going to do well. And I don't think it's going to be a fight that's going to hurt Terence Crawford for taking because he's in a win-win situation. If he defeats Manny Pacquiao, he's going to be, wow, he defeated Manny Pacquiao. Even though Pacquiao's on his downward slope and everything else, this fight come back, he beat him. And if he loses to Manny Pacquiao, well, he lost to one of the better fighters in this era right now that did a good job. So he'll still be in the top 10. He'll still be able to jockey to the top again. So I think it's a good fight for him to take. And Pacquiao, if Pacquiao is the Pacquiao that we often could refer back to a year or two ago, maybe three, then I believe that Pacquiao will pretty much handle this guy and take the fight, slip the punches, and get inside and do a good job. But if it's the Pacquiao that we saw against Mayweather, or maybe the last year, and we're not going to be sure what we're going to see, then I think this guy could do a good thing and pull a good upset. Should be a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I would like to see it. I mean, the short list has two guys that I would like to see Manny Pacquiao fight, Terence Crawford and Amir Khan. So both of them are legitimate opponents. So I think that at least if Manny Pacquiao is successful and he does follow up and retire, at least he goes out beating, a top guy, unlike his, I don't know, his biggest enemy in Floyd Mayweather, who took a layup in his last fight.
Exactly. And, I think Pacquiao will look to go out on top on that level with a W.
I can't hear you. I'm losing you. Are you still there, Sal? I think we lost Sal. Are you there? I think we lost Sal. No. Well, I hear you. Hello. I hear you faintly. Yeah.
I'm here. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now. We need you to stay right where you are there, because I can't. I didn't hear you. But anyway,
I did. I took a plane that flew overhead.
Oh yeah, they don't have planes in Georgia. But anyway, did you get a chance to check your email at all today?
Just before I got the phone call from you. Yes, and we got to talk about this.
All right.
How old is this guy?
They want to know. They got people in the chat room asking me. So for anybody that doesn't know, okay, my man Coach sent me a link, and I checked it out, and I had to forward it to Sal. Apparently, there's a fighter, Steve Ward. He's 59, I think, 58 or 59, and he held the Guinness Book of World Records for being the oldest active fighter. Now, he just lost that Guinness Book of World Records because another guy here in the States fought and is considered active and beat him by a few months. So now Steve Ward is training again to fight, to reclaim that Guinness Book of World Records. Well, a lot of our viewers and listeners want to know what Sal Rocky Cenicola feels about that. I mean, you actually have the Guinness Book of World Records for having the longest drought in between fights, 25 years and plus. But what about getting in the mix for being one of the oldest active fighters? I mean, what's your thoughts on this, Rocky?
Well, let me tell you something. I'm gonna dig deep here. Now, how old is Mansfield guy? How old is this guy?
I think he's 59, 58 or 59.
Okay. All right, good. That's what I want. Listen to me. You hear it here first. And here's what's going to happen. First of all, if it wasn't for my shoulder, I would still be fighting today. And I think we had a 5-game fight plan where maybe I'd get leverage for one of these belts in the world today. Even though I don't care if it's today's man belt, but I want to get a belt. And I'll tell you what happens is this. I've got 4 years to train and get ready for this fight. So I am going to make a comeback. I don't care how old he is. I don't care if he's 70. I'm going to get my boxing license and find a state that's going to issue a 70-year-old a boxing license or whatever. And I'm going to maybe 60.
I just lost you. We just lost Sal. Are you back again, Sal? You're driving me crazy, man. I'm ready to hit this button, brother. I'm ready to hit the button. No. Talk in the phone, Sal.
I'm talking in the phone.
Now you are.
I got excited.
No. I think that you're doing two things at once. That's what I think. I don't want to deal with that. But listen, here's the deal. He's not going to be not fighting. So he's still older than you. So if this guy's still around, he's going to constantly be older than you. You got to wait for him to retire and then break the record, right?
Well, one way or the other, I'm going to break the record. I can tell you that right now, because I love boxing and I can still get good shape. I promise you, I can get back in world-class shape. I just got to have the shoulder fixed, and I'm going to go get that done with the next doctor that wants to take me on.
I don't know. That guy looked kind of mean, man. But anyway, you read the article. All right. Just as we wrap it up here, Cotto Canelo, pre and post fight show being held at your restaurant again. Tell us about that.
We're going to have a great weekend, and these are kind of fights. I'm telling you, boxing in the last 3-4 months is going to make a nice impact going out towards the end of the year. As far as making a statement that, hey, guess what? We're going to show good quality, world-class fights by people that still want to box to win and to take on all the best opponents. And I feel this thing right here, too, is going to be a good one to close out the year with. And Canelo and Cotto, I'll tell you, I like them both. I love the experience and the older fighter in Cotto, and I love what I've seen from Alvarez. He just keeps improving. He's a good, solid, fundamentally strong fighter who could bring it to all levels when it comes to his boxing ability and his delivering a combination and a punch. So I like it. It's going to be a great fight when you're going to have the old experienced warrior in with the young buck who's going to make a name for himself. And so it's a win-win fight. We're going to have you here. We're going to have probably John up here. We're going to do a great show. We're going to have some great food. I already know that the men and women of FLETI, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, they're all excited about it, and they're 5 miles off the causeway to us. They're going to come down for the fight. We have a lot of other people that are expressing a lot of interest. So these fights, the pre-fight and the post-fight from South is gaining momentum, and a lot of people are showing a lot of interest. So they get tickled in. When they come in for dinner and they see there's a screen with a bunch of boxers, they get a quick education. So we're excited about it, Billy. I can't wait to talk to you about this more and more, maybe next week and stuff, too.
Sounds good, because we're going to be giving stuff away. I mentioned that on the show earlier. We're going to be giving things away randomly to people that are there. The fight will be for free. Sal's whole menu is available.
Absolutely.
So make sure you show up. Now, I'm getting asked by people in the chat room here about, we have some MMA fans. And your buddy Joel is hassling me right now in the chat room. He wants to know about the Holly Holm Rousey fight. I mean, come on, what are you you letting secrets out, Sal? What's going on, man?
Okay, here's what's going on. Now I have my girl here, Heather, who is one of my top right hand persons in my restaurant. I got a couple right hands. But I'll tell you what, she's a big Ronda Rousey fan. And like I said, MMA is big down in South. Boxing's not that big. MMA and college football is big. So Heather is wanting us to bring in the Ronda Rousey fight so badly that she said if I don't bring it in, she's going to take off and go watch it somewhere else.
Wow.
I can't have that, Billy. You can't have that.
No, you can't. You can't. You can't. Well, I think Joe. I'm wondering. Joe just had surgery on his leg, but I wonder if he would make the trip down. He keeps threatening that he might, but we got to get him out of his house. But we'll keep.
Absolutely. I owe him a shirt too.
Yeah. Well, he's got to come there to get it, doesn't he? I mean, come on.
I'll either mail it to him. I'll eventually get back to a post office. Speaking of which, I'll be there going there tomorrow for a reason. and maybe I could get Joel's address too, or whatever.
Well, I think you should make him come there and get it in person. But Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm, I'm very familiar with Holly Holm, and hopefully it'll be more of a challenge for Ronda Rousey than she's been up against so far. I mean, she's made quick work of all her opponents. But I'm really looking forward to Cotto Canelo, Sal. The winner is supposed to be forced to face Triple G. There's a lot of rumors that the weight might be lower than 160. I know you and I talked about that off air the other day. But when push comes to shove, the winner of that fight, whether it be Cotto or Canelo against Triple G, would be a great matchup as we look down the road.
It would be a great matchup, and I still, after the performance we saw Triple G put on, I became a Triple G fan. I believe in him, and I think he's very dominant, and I think he would probably make work of a good session with these guys too. But you never know. That's why it's the game of fighting. Any fighter can get beaten on any given night.
It's just that what bothers me is that these two guys who happen to be fighting, Cotto's the current world WBC world middleweight champion, and Canelo is moving up. He generally fights in the junior middleweight division. They're fighting their fight, Cotto Canelo, at 155. And both said that if they, win the fight and they're forced to fight Triple G, they want that fight at 155. And I have a problem with that, Sal. The weight limit at 160, the weight limit at middleweight is 160. Why would you make a stipulation to more or less be fighting 1 pound over the junior middleweight limit when you're contending for a world middleweight title? I think the WBC should step in and say, hey, the weight limit for middleweight is 160, and that's what this fight will be contended at. What's your quick thoughts on that?
Quick thoughts. When you ask me what time it is, I'm going to tell you to make the watch, but we'll try and make this fast. Listen to me. You are 100% right, because I can't stand this thing. This is a middleweight championship fight. The middleweight limit is 160 pounds. If you come in at 161, you got to go lose that pound to make that weight. Now, if you're 154 pounds and you feel you're badass enough to go up and fight the middleweight championship and gain that title, then damn, you have every right to come in. But don't you put restrictions or conditions that you're going to take a middleweight champion who fights beautifully at 160 and tell him he's got to come in at 155. That's bullshit. No way. Sorry about my language. I get emotional with this.
Well, let me tell you this. Back in and today, as we go over this day in boxing history, back in 1942, Ezra Charles, who was, people remember him as a world heavyweight champion. He actually fought Joey Maxim, and Joey Maxim was a light heavyweight, weighed 172, and Ezra Charles stepped in the ring weighing 166. So realistically, he did exactly what you're saying. He went and he challenged a light heavyweight. He came in at the weight he felt comfortable with, but Joey Maxim still was able to step on that scale and weigh as much as 175 because it was a light heavyweight fight. So, it is what it is. That's why they have the weight classes. You can't have a weight class and then put restriction within that weight class.
No, and you're 100% right again, and I am 100% behind you. You know what? Let these guys go lose a pound and fight for a junior middleweight championship. That's what they should do if they're going to whine about 5 pound difference. Forget about it. You fight a junior middleweight, you want 154, go ahead, lose a pound. But don't tell our guy Triple G to lose 5 pounds off his weight if you want to fight for the middleweight championship of the world. That's his title, by the way. You're going to go up and fight him at 160 pounds. That's it. Hard, clean, no hard line. That's it. That's all. It should be said and done. That's it.
No, I agree with you. Sal, I appreciate your insight and your opinions, and we'll be looking forward to your thoughts next week, and you and I will chat at some point before then. So we look forward to that, my man. Give everybody my best at Sal's restaurant, and tell them I look forward to seeing them soon.
Hey, thank you. I sure will, Billy, and my best to you and your family and all your fans out there. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to say hi, and I'll look forward to talking to you soon, buddy.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you later.
Ciao.
That's my man Sal, Rocky, Cenicola, and like he said, we'll be doing a Canelo Cotto pre- and post-fight show live from Sal's restaurant down in beautiful St. Simons Island, Georgia. You can find out some information by calling the restaurant, 912-268-2328. You can also click the fight poster, which will be up on our website, or you can go to ldltv.com for information, or you could just drop me an email, billy@talkinboxing, that's TALKINBOXING. .com. We will be doing a pre-fight show, which will be about 1 hour before the pay-per-view goes live, and we'll be breaking down all the fights that are on the pay-per-view. And then as soon as the official announcement is made for the winner, we go live approximately 5 to 6 minutes after that announcement, and we will open up the phone lines, and I promise you we will have a phone system there. And we will open up the phone lines after Sal and I give you our thoughts on the event that took place. We will open up the phone lines and get your thoughts. And we'll go as long as we got action happening. So if you've been waiting for a good time to go down to Sal's for one of these events, this is it. We're going to be giving stuff away, shirts and other kinds of stuff. Sal might even give away some certificates for some food. I don't know. But we're going to be giving things away. His full menu will be available for you guys to check out and taste and see what I'm talking about, why I go all that way. He's going to let you watch the fight for free, but space is limited, so make sure you make your plans now. So drop me an email, Billy at Talkin Boxing. That's TalkinBoxing.com. Now, if you're looking to get a package deal, which will include a hotel and some food vouchers for Sal's, drop me an email and let me know, and I'll get you some pricing on that. It also comes with a T-shirt from us, from the Talkin Boxing with Billy C show, and Sal's Jersey Hall of Fame shirts, as well as a copy of my book. So we'll give you a nice little package if you're looking to come on down and spend a weekend with us, because I usually arrive in town on Friday, so we'll be hanging Friday, and then, of course, for the event on Saturday. So make sure you make plans to be with us for the Cotto Canelo fight on November 21st. And hey, it's the week before Thanksgiving, so nothing like kicking off a holiday season with a nice time at Sal's, dealing with some boxing. And you have to deal with me, but things could be worse, right? All right, I'm going to take a short break. Now, when I come back, I'm going to open up the phone lines. I want to get your thoughts on a lot of the stuff we're talking about, specifically the argument about Andre Ward being classified by many as the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world, which it makes me sick. Also, Roy Jones Jr. Got his Russian passport today. I'll talk about that when I get back. And Sugar Shane Mosley getting back into the ring, challenging for a world title. All of that I want to talk about, plus the performance of Terence Crawford. Anything that you have on your mind, now's the time to call 845-228-8710. I'll be back in 2.